The following is a podcast meant for adults and discuss things like sexual content and alcohol use. Listener discretion is advised.
How was I supposed to know that she was allergic to bananas, man? It wasn't my fault.
Listen, no
Anyway,
one told you to go to the beach.
anyways. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 29 of the Drunk Texting Podcast, the podcast where we have some drink, talk some mess, and help you get through your thirsty Thursdays as only we can. You all know who I am by this point, and if you don't, then how did you make it this far? I am JB, one half of your co-hosting team, and to my right, actually, it's going to be your right as well, on the right of the screen. She's on the right side of the screen this week. My co-hostess with the mo-hostess. Please tell the people who you are and what your adjective is for this episode.
I am the tired. Tired, Kristal.
Tired. I feel like that is the perfect word for you because you you recently moved. You recently moved, are in a new place of living. You are in your own apartment now. You and studio audience, I'm so happy for y'all. Proud of y'all taking the next steps, the necessary steps. Because I'll admit, when my wife Gabby and I, when we first decided we were going to move in together, we got pushed back on all four fronts from both my parents and both of her parents. And my dad, I can understand why, because he, not to tell his age, but he grew up in a time where it was not common for you to move in before you got married. It was not common for you to move in and be in the same living space before you got married. My mom, she was a little bit more okay, but she still was like, you ain't even proposed to her yet. Why are you? Which, to be fair, to be honest, I think we had already been kind of living together a little bit beforehand anyway. And I think I proposed before we ended up moving in together because she had an issue with her apartment, so she had to move in with me. And I was like, I'm gonna do it because why not? Why wouldn't I? Because we're gonna get married. We're gonna get married, and it's like I don't want to propose or we get married and then we move in together, and then all of a sudden I'm mad because how you gonna eat my salt and vinegar chips? And she looking at me like I didn't just eat your salt and vinegar chips. You left them there for a week, and it's like, yeah, I left them because I was waiting on a special occasion. Why didn't you ask me? And then it'd be a whole situation. Or maybe I wouldn't like the way that she slept on her side when we went to sleep at night. Then now I'm like, oh, I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to sleep in the same bed as you. It'd be a whole situation. So that was always my mindset going in. Like I need to live with the person a little bit before I get married to them because I need to know if we are compatible living together. We can be compatible in marriages and be in a relationship, be compatible, cool. But if I can't live with you, if I can't enjoy sharing a space with you, I don't want it because we can be the most compatible people and not have compatible living arrangements.
That's
So,
fair. Like we've been on a couple trips, like weekend trips, couple day trips. So we had like a little micro dose of living together a couple
right.
times. We feel like we can do that.
And
And here we are
that's even
having
something. And that's even something too that I really do. We'll talk way more about this in our Valentine's Day episode in a few months. But like that was something too that I was really appreciative for my wife is that we took trips. We did like I want to say in 2020 was the first time we ever took a trip together. We went to Jacksonville. Like we went and we spent a weekend in Jacksonville for my birthday. Wasn't on my actual birthday; it was a few weeks later. But like it was for my birthday.
fair enough.
And we got chances to go on trips like that, and I think it really helped kind of show me and show her who we were as people and how we approached. Because I'll admit something different about me, especially, is that I had never had outside like personal trips. Had never had those types of trips where like I would go and then have like structure to the point of like, okay, we're gonna get there at this time. Once we get there at this time, we're gonna spend a little bit of time in the room and relax and calm ourselves after the trip. Then we're going to get ready to go to dinner. Then we're going to go to dinner at this time. Then we're going to get back at this time. And then we're going to get up the next day. We're going to try to go to breakfast at this time. Then we're going to go do this, then that.
It's very organized.
And she's very organized. And I'll admit,
Yeah.
now I don't think I'd be able to go on a trip and not have that level of structure. Like, I don't think I'd be able to, hey, we're going to go for a week to Detroit, I don't know, Salt Lake City, somewhere, and we're gonna spend a week there, and then we get there, and it's like, okay, so what do we have planned? Oh no, we were just gonna wing it. No, I'm going home.
Nah.
I'm going home.
You got stuff to do every day. There's something
Give,
on the list.
at least have one something to do. Don't let me just
Right.
don't let. And then even if you do want it to be a day where it's like, let's just walk out or like take a trip to like the local mall and see what we can get up to, perfectly fine. Just let that be put into the itinerary. If it's a
Like, you all day.
if it's an exploration day, put it in the itinerary that it's an exploration day,
That's
and
fair.
I will feel better. You get it.
Very fair. I can. I mean,
But all that to say, I am very proud of y'all. Congratulations on the apartment. I hope y'all ain't trying to choke each other out after like a month and a half. What does
don't
that
do
mean?
it like that.
What does that mean? Anyway, you know what? We're not even gonna get into it because this is not a therapy session. We're going to get into our first section of the week, which is our question of the week. And this week, question of the week, it is not from my homie that we are going to get into him in a little bit. We're gonna get woo.
Yeah.
Ooh, we're gonna get into it in a little bit. But our question of the week this week is: what did you see in someone else's home that told you, "Yep, they're rich"? This question is via Ask Reddit, as 95% of my questions are. And so, this is the first one, and I actually laughed because I haven't been in someone's house, but this is how I've been in like different hotels that I've been in, and I've been like, dang, this is how I know this is one of them upscale hotels. When they have a very confusing sink. 100% I agree with that, because I've been in hotels where I've like tried to like finagle the sink, and I'm like, how does this thing work? Like, how
Any sink that's like above the counter. That's fancy
right?
stuff.
And I'm just like, how do you?
Like, get down in the counter.
Bro,
You up too high.
those are the ones.
Yeah.
This one, I was like, this is so specific, but I feel like this is also something that a lot of people have been through. A copy of Architectural Digest magazine with their house on the cover. So, also, I want to say this right now. If I ever went to someone's house and you just got a copy of the magazine that features the very house that I'm standing in, I'm leaving. Because why are you trying to flex? Like, it's already a flex that I'm in this multi-million-dollar house.
And now you're just flexing in my face by
Right.
showing me your
Like-
house from the outside, from the inside.
Right. Like,
That's
oh,
messed
you're
up.
telling me that, oh, your house was so grand they put it on a magazine? Like, get out my face. That piss me off.
And now you got the magazine sitting here on your coffee table?
Right. Like, you think people gonna be that interested in your house that they're gonna be like, oh, look at her, it's the house. Let me read the article that this journalist came out and wrote about you. Like,
Oh. They might doing that.
this one, I wish there was more of a backstory to this one. My friend's dad was an oil tycoon. He had a T-Rex skeleton in his hallway. Now you gotta think about that. Had a T-Rex skeleton. You mean to tell me it is that big? First off, why is your hallway that big that it can fit a T-Rex skeleton in the hallway? We're not even talking about like the foyer. We're not talking about like the grand living space. No, the hallway. The place to get you from room to room. That's irritating. That is irritating.
That's insane.
Let's see. Not even okay. Here's the next one. Not even in their house. Was driving to their home and was looking for which side street off the main road they were on when GPS says you've arrived. But I saw no house, made a U turn, and realized the side street was actually their .4 mile driveway.
Oh no. Mm-mm.
I'm gonna be honest with you, that's awesome because the thing is, I've often fantasized about having a house that had a long ass driveway to get to. Like, because I've always, because growing up in my hometown, we it was very few and far between that we had houses like that. But we did have those few houses that like they sat on like this huge plot of land back behind some trees, and the driveway was literally like a long ass driveway to get up to the house. And I always remember hearing my dad would always say about these houses, well, at least you know if somebody comes up to this house, you know they're looking for you. You know
Yeah.
they came to the right place if they had to drive all the
That's
way up there.
that.
So that always, and I was like, dang, I would like a house like that. I'd like to have a driveway like that, so that way if somebody pull up in it, at least I know for sure. You know,
Right. Ain't no. Oh, I was lost. No, you're not.
right? You're all the way up there. There's no way. Oh Lord. I feel like this is more of a north. I feel like this is more of a northern rich person thing. No
Mm.
full street address, just the name of the house, Hampshire or whatever.
You said yup.
I
Well,
feel like
that's
that's more of like a.
confirmation.
I feel like that is more of a northern rich person thing.
Listen, we had confirmation from a northerner, so yes.
That's crazy.
They said yes, that is a northern thing. That's wild.
You
I've
know,
never known.
you know something that I got a couple, but I think this was. Let's see what's up. Yep, this is gonna be our last one because I have seen this. I no not exactly this, but something similar. The wall long built in floor to ceiling saltwater aquarium being
Mm,
maintained by the fish guy scubaing in it.
mm.
That
That, that's wealth right
first
there.
off,
That is wealth.
First off, to have the amount of money to have a floor to ceiling saltwater aquarium, but then to
It's
have the money
crazy.
to have a person that scuba dives into it to maintain it, bro. You have too much money. You have too
Entirely.
much money.
You just got money to know at that point. You're just wasting your own money.
Right. So growing up, I will say this is the one that, and this should tell you the type of houses and stuff that I was around growing up. But growing up, I used to think that, I don't know if you remember those big ass TVs, the really really big one that had like the speakers on the bottom, but it was all one,
Yeah.
and it wasn't a
Yeah.
flat screen, but it was like it was still like a 50 something inch, and it was all just one piece. I remember there was a woman that I knew, well, that my parents knew, and by association I knew her, that she had one of those, and she didn't have just one. She had one in her living room, one
Hmm.
in the like common dining area. Like it was like technically a dining room. Like there was a dining
Hmm.
table in there, but there was also like a couch and then the living room, and then like the
Hmm.
TV. She had one in her bedroom, and then her son's former room had one in it. And I was like,
Mm.
what kind of money
That's
do you
kind
have
of
that you have like four of these things in your house just ready to go? What kind of living arrangement? What do you do for a living that you can just afford this? I to this day I still don't know what she did for a living. To this day I
well,
still don't. And the other thing that always made me think that somebody had money is when they had a guest house that was
mm,
modeled to look like the main house, just smaller.
mm,
Because I know like three people from my hometown that had one, and one of them, funny enough, he was actually the local. He had a concrete business,
mm,
um, in my hometown, and he was like the main contractor for like the concrete and like road services and stuff in the city. Even when they did a major highway a few years back, they still used his company, which I don't even know if they still own the company, if the family still owns the company, because he passed away some years ago. But I that's the kind of like literally I remember being when I was younger was growing up. They offered to let me come over to spend the night with them just so I could stay in the guest house.
Wow.
And I remember going into their guest house. You literally go in. There's like a common area, kitchen, has a bar that disconnects the kitchen from the common area. You go over to this side. You can go up to like a different living, like an actual like living room space. But then on the right, on the first floor, there's a little. There was like a little section that separated the room from the bedroom. In that little section was a bathroom on one side, like a bathroom, and then a sink, and then the shower, and then on the other side of that was the bedroom, and it had a flat screen TV hanging up, mounted in front of the TV, in front of the window. And I was like, bro, this is nice. This
Elegant living.
and this was back when flat screen TVs were just starting to become a thing.
That's
Like
crazy.
this was back when like flat
She had money. They had money.
like I said, they were
Yeah,
concrete.
money.
They were concrete. They were the concrete business. They he had money because he was laying concrete and laying like doing city work. He got contracts with the city. He made money.
Hey, ain't mad at you.
What things? So tell me, what things uh, do you when you go to somebody's house makes you go, damn, they got money?
Um, I'm gonna say an elevator in the house. That's one. A grand piano that
Okay.
no one plays. It's just there. One of those like like arcade game things,
mm.
or a boat.
So you're not talking about like the ones you can get at Walmart. You mean like the authentic, like
Like
big
yes, like the
body.
full yes,
Like you have to have like a specialist come out and fix it if it breaks
yes,
type. Yeah, I know exactly. You know there's
yeah.
that. So there's actually a professional wrestler I follow who he has a home arcade and it's literally like he has pinball machines, arcade game, and apparently somebody made a wrestling game that like the arcade machine is modeled after him.
That's so fancy.
It's crazy. I was like,
I would
bro,
love to have a pinball machine in my house.
man, look. When I win the lottery, that's gonna be one of the things I put in my house. Is I'm gonna have an arcade, and it's gonna be like four pinball machines, and it's gonna be
Yeah,
one is gonna be Deadpool themed, one is gonna be
yeah.
professional wrestling themed, one is gonna be like anime themed, so probably like maybe Dragon Ball Z, maybe My Hero, and the fourth one is gonna be just a random one that I would just like I just so happened to see, and I was like, I want that. I want that
Probably a
one.
Rick and I get a Rick and Morty one. That'd be
Maybe
lit.
a Rick and Morty one. No, I'm gonna get a Dolly Parton one because there's actually I know there's a Dolly Parton one because there's one in the arcade in downtown Macon. There's a
Mm.
Dolly Parton
I don't
one
even
over
want to go
there,
there.
bro. It is great in there. I took Gabby there the day that I proposed. That was all a part of the
Hmm.
plan.
Oh,
Have
you had
I
a whole day planned out.
have
How
I ever
nice.
have I ever told the story of that day on the podcast?
No, no, but we
Okay,
can save it for Valentine's Day.
Ah, do we want to save it for Valentine's Day? Because it is a really good. You know what? You know what? We will save it. We will save it. We
We'll
will
save
save it.
all 50 romantic stories for Valentine's Day.
We'll save it for Valentine's Day. That you know what? That's great. That is good. But that for our question of the week. Before we move on, I feel horrible because we missed a integral part of starting our episode. What are we drinking on? Today I am
Hmm.
drinking a screwdriver. You know the drink, the screwdriver, but it is a vodka gin mixture for the alcohol.
Mm. Nice.
And it's because I'm at home and I'm at home. There's really nothing.
That's it. That's the only excuse is you're at home.
What are you drinking on today?
I am drinking on, of course, in the spirit of Thanksgiving. Y'all already know I'm not letting up. I'm not letting up. Cranberry, I'm coming for you again, bro. It is white cran and strawberry mixed with a hard strawberry lemonade.
You right. Ooh. Hmm.
Yeah, hello. It is delectable and delicious because I accidentally froze all the hard lemonades.
Damn.
So they are good and chilly. You good, bro? You slumped. Studio audience is slumped on the floor right now. Let it be known.
Dog, that's tragic. So let's see. I'm trying to find. So I'll be honest. Now that we're done with our question of the day, I want it to come back because. So, you know that I have a friend of the podcast. I call him the friend of the podcast. I don't know. Have I told y'all his name on the podcast? I just think my friend that I used to.
I don't think so.
Huh?
I don't think you told the name.
So
Keep him anonymous.
Okay, fine. Our anonymous friend of the podcast. He always talks to me after the podcast episode drop. He tells me about different things that go on. So I made a point, I believe it was in the last episode, where I talked about how I had not seen any doors on the cruise or the pineapples.
Yeah.
I'm about to send you some pictures of a singular door that he found while he was on the cruise, because he just so happened to be out one night and he was looking around, and he found these. Those are the three, and I will include them for those that are watching the episode. I will include them on the I'll include them on the I'm so sorry. I am so sorry, y'all. So, for those of you that are listening and not watching, what you didn't just see was studio audience just booty scoot across the floor and then proceed to crawl out of frame in the background. That was the funniest.
He took the longest route around this table. He could have went that way. He went the longest fucking route around this table.
Funniest. Oh my god! It literally just stopped me in my tracks. Oh my goodness.
What is doing? Like, wait. Go in the room.
Oh, that was funny. That was hilarious. But yeah, so he would just up one night, decided to take a walk on the ship, and he found this. He found this door, and I mean,
it's the married with benefit sticker is crazy.
Look, they were ready. For me, it was the plays well with others sticker. That was the one for me. I was like, huh? Excuse.
Life is better upside down.
What? Listen. I don't know.
Oh, it says down for shenanigans. That's fun. That's great. It is. The fact that it's a carnival cruise makes sense.
So now I'm going to send you his door, because him and his wife did decorate their door. And I want you to zoom in on a specific spot. You'll know it when you see it. And I'll drop the picture. So for the non-viewing audience, my friend's door was decorated, themed kind of around Halloween. It says, "Beware spooky, enter if you dare." But the part that gets me, and it got me when he messaged this to me, when you zoom in on the picture, there is an upside down box, cardboard paper box thing of sliced pineapple. It's upside down on the door.
I was just looking at that. I was like, what?
So I asked him about that, and he was like, yeah. So we were like at the dollar store looking for stuff to look for stuff to put on the door and decorate and all that, get ready for the cruise. And so they were like, oh, he had a great idea. And so literally he just goes over to another aisle, grabs the box of pineapples, and they buy it, and he rips the cover off and takes it with him. They didn't if I remember correctly, he said they didn't even eat the pineapples.
That's crazy. Why?
It's insane. I'm trying to remember. There was something else that I wanted to mention about. Oh, this was something else, and this was a specific to the studio audience. After the gnome deathbed confession last week's episode, I that's wonderful. After the gnome deathbed confession on last week's episode, and how studio audience quickly went from garden gnome to swingers, I will read this message verbatim. And studio audience made a quick ass jump from garden gnome to swingers. You might need to use your news skills to investigate. That is one hell of a suspect jump. And when he said that, I laughed. I was like, you know what? You're not even wrong. You are not even wrong.
Bro, you better not be breaking the fridge. Defend yourself. Defend yourself, my guy. Defend yourself. Oh, he did research. I did research. Interesting.
Let's see. Is there anything else I wanted to? Let's see.
It's actually.
I think. Oh. And I don't believe I can be. I don't believe I can be put into this situation. But this wasn't necessarily a deathbed confession, but a confession nonetheless that was given. Said that got a confession from an older man who admitted that he killed the man who murdered his son.
That's crazy.
So basically, the dude killed the son in front of the guy's grandson. The kid was very young. The dude got off on some technicalities. So the guy ended up having to get his grandson raised him. When the kid got older, got into college, the guy tracked down the guy who killed the son and said he put 2 in his dome and fed the body to a gator-filled swamp.
That's crazy.
And I'm not saying if it's true or not. I have no truth on if the story is true or not. I was just told that was what was confessed in a moment of deep conversation. I have I have no connections to any persons involved in said story. I have another story that I'm gonna share later because I feel like eventually we are gonna get more. We're gonna eventually. I want to bring him on the podcast and just let him tell stories about his life, and because he told me another story that I kind of want to save, just because I like. Cause I told them this when I went to lunch with them recently that I basically just like backlogged different stuff that he's told me to say on the podcast because he tells me so much and I'm just like, bro, I love that you tell me so much, but like, Jesus Christ and the Latter-day Saints.
The Latter-day Saints.
And the Latter-day Saints, yes.
That's funny.
The Saints of Latter-day, yes. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I think that's the one for now. That's it for now. We are going to move on to our next section, which normally would be Would You Rather of the Week. But this week we're going to do it a little bit differently. We have a question that was sent to me on TikTok, and I have kind of reworded the question to fit us here on the Drunk Texting Podcast. So the question goes, you get $1 million tax-free, but you have to drink an entire bottle of an alcohol. Like, it can't be like one of those little like mini shot, like it has to be like a regular size, or if it's one of those ones that's like the size of this, it has to be like a large bottle. So like if you get like a soju bottle, like a bottle of soju, it has to be like a large bottle of soju. It can't just be like normal, you know. So
yeah,
you have to get the bottle and you have to drink it in 30 minutes to get the $1 million tax free. Are you doing it first off? And if you are, what alcohol would you choose?
I'm doing it.
All right, cool. I mean, obviously, I knew you were gonna say yes.
I'm gonna do it.
But what would be your alcohol that you would choose? Like, what bottle of alcohol would you choose?
I'm going pineapple, 1800.
Oh, ooh,
What you make that face for?
ooh,
That's juice. That's
ooh.
pineapple, 1800.
1800?
It
1800?
tastes like that. Tastes like pineapple juice, bro.
1800. Like,
It tastes like
like,
pineapple juice.
hold on now. Let me double check. Make sure I'm thinking about the right thing.
Right. Let me make sure I'm thinking of the right thing.
Let me make sure.
Cause it can't be. Cause that I tasted the first time I tasted like, well, that's pineapple juice. I can drink that straight, and
Yeah,
I
so
did.
1800, like the pineapple tequila.
Yeah,
You know what?
pineapple
I can't.
1800.
You know what?
That's street.
I can't even say nothing because I probably would pick Hennessy. Honestly,
Ooh,
listen,
can't.
listen. I'll call a spade on this one. Get me that bottle of Hennessy. It'll be gone in 30 minutes, and then me and my wife are gonna have a good night on multiple fronts.
Go off.
I'm just saying. I'm
Go
just saying.
off.
Listen. Them few months that I was single in 2019, I remember, and I remember this specifically because I also remember sending it, and I was out of pocket, out of sort. I
Shit.
remember sending it to a few people. I had the Hennessy bottle in my hand, but like I had like I had used Snapchat's like thing to get rid of
Mhm.
the henny part, and then added pregnant, so it said pregnancy,
Shameful.
and I was like, I'm getting all of this tonight. Who trying to get some with me? And I remember I remember I sent it. I posted it to my story, but then I sent it to like some individual people, and I got a couple interesting responses, but
I bet. I
listen,
bet you did.
listen. College days me with Hennessy was a fun time. Long story short, was a fun time.
Shameful. What you
Oh,
got?
listen, I ain't even gonna cap. If I could go back and do it all again, I would absolutely go back and do it all again.
I
I,
probably can wild out. Too. I wild out.
I think the only difference is I would not put as much energy into relationships. I don't
Mm.
think I would like not to say that I wouldn't try to pursue relationships and try to like have relationships and like be in romantic relationships, but I wouldn't put as much energy to be in those relationships, to like get
Mm.
into those relationships as I did. Because I also feel like that kind of is what hindered me educationally. Like I wasn't
Mm.
as focused on my studies because I was more so focused on, man, I gotta get out and meet somebody. I gotta get out and get me a girlfriend. Da, 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 da. I'm supposed to be trying to meet my future wife here. Da, 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 da. Like that kind of stuff. So I feel like if I could go back, that would be. But I would absolutely drink. I would absolutely drink to my liver's content all over again if I could.
Nah.
Oh yeah.
Mm. What you got?
Whiskey.
Whiskey.
What kind of whiskey?
Kind of whiskey. Okay.
Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels.
I had an old man answer. That old man. That old man answer. Oh my
What
goodness.
kind of Jack Daniels? I'm personally a fan of Jack Honey, but
Okay, go off.
Regular.
just regular.
All right, I'm gonna say this. And I hope nobody gets at me sideways. But like, imagine having a honey pack in a glass of Jack Daniel's honey.
That
You
probably go
know,
down smooth.
I
Oh my
mean,
God.
listen. It'll probably go down smooth, all right. But you ain't going down smooth that night.
I mean, you just might. You just might.
Listen, the liquor would go down smooth, and you're gonna be up all night.
I mean, it'd be a smooth night. Smooth night, man.
Man,
Sounds like
I ain't gonna lie.
A fun experiment.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Next year, I really do want to go to homecoming next year, just so I can show my ass one more time.
Do it.
Just so I can show my ass one more time.
100% do it.
And the crazy part is, you know what's funny? That was one of the first times that I can like actively remember that me and my sister in law agreed on something because I was telling her about that, and I was like, man, you know, I feel like if I just had one more experience going back to homecoming and just showing out one more time just to show out, I feel like I'd be straight.
You know, like that fulfill your life mission right there.
Like I'd be straight. Like just make sure all my homies is going, all the people that made my college experience great. We all just meet up at homecoming, spend the whole weekend, get there on Thursday and stay there
Yeah.
until Sunday, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Why
Look,
not? For sure.
if we didn't have so much to do already next year, I most definitely would go ahead and start saving up that money. But I gotta, whoo, we got two big trips next year,
Oof.
and one of them is overseas, not overseas, across the border.
Fun.
Oh, it's gonna be fun, but
Great.
like, dog,
No, it's be great.
it, I hope so.
It'll be great.
I hope so.
It will be.
But yeah, I think Hennessy. If I didn't, if not Hennessy, and this will be showing my how I grew up, because I've explained. I do Crown Royal. I do a thing of Crown. But I will
So
also
that's the whole thing.
but I will also say though, the only reason I would even say that is because my dad. My first ever legal drink was a thing of Crown. My dad gave me money to go to the liquor store, and he said, "Pick me up a thing of Crown and get you whatever you want." And I didn't know. And truthfully, even though yes, I had been drinking, we here at the Drunk Texting Podcast do not condone underage drinking. We have learned from our mistakes, and we want you to do better off of our mistakes. Now, with that
Yeah.
being said, up to that point, my go-to was Fireball. I did not know. I was young and stupid. And Fireball always fit within my budget. Always. But with that being said, since I didn't know any better, my dad got a thing of Crown Royal. I got a thing of Crown Royal. He got a regular thing of Crown Royal. I got a thing of Crown Royal Apple. I had a good time. We sat at the table in my parents' kitchen. We sat at that table. We both had glasses, and we sat there and we talked. And we talked about all kinds of everything. Why I chose the career path that I chose in college. I think by that point I had already switched majors. Um, we talked about what I was hoping to do after I graduated college. We talked about if I would be willing to move back, if I wanted to move back to my hometown after college, which I didn't want to do, truthfully. Like, and if I did move back, I didn't want to move back and live with my parents, you know.
That's fair. That's
Um,
very fair.
but but sat there and we did it. That's part of why. And I will say that's one of my core memories. Inside out. That's one of my core memories. Is on my 21st birthday, sitting down at the kitchen table with my dad. We both having a thing of Crown, sitting there drinking Crown, and my mom, of course, she saw it and was like, turn 21 and you already drinking. And I was just like,
Yeah.
it's my birthday. And my dad, of course, he was like, that's his birthday present. This is his birthday present for me.
The thing of Crown.
And look, I'm gonna continue the tradition. I don't know if it'll be Crown. I don't know if it'll be Crown Royal, but my kid, I'm gonna be like, here goes $75. Go pick me up a bottle of Disaronno, and get you whatever bottle you want. When you get back, we're gonna sit right here at this table. We're gonna drink,
We have to talk.
and we just gonna talk. And I'm gonna continue that tradition. I am. Whether I have a daughter or a son, we're gonna continue that tradition.
That's fair.
To be honest, I might do it with my nephews, depending on if my brother does it or not.
I mean,
Because if my brother does it, then I'm gonna just go over there with him, and I'm gonna be like, all right, we about to sit down, we're gonna have these drinks, we're gonna do this together.
all right, I'm just on here.
Look, Uncle, look, I'm gonna just be there at the table. Oh, I ain't even about to be a part of the conversation. I just wanted to come over here and drink.
All right, I'm just here to drink. Shame.
Is it though?
No, it's not. Not in the slightest.
I'm about to be the uncliest of uncles.
The uncliest.
Yes. I'm finna get the Jesus Walk 7 slide.
Not the walk on water 13.
You know what else I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get me one of them Bluetooth earpieces. One of them ones that come all the way down.
Not the trucker headphones.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna get me one of them. Boom. Y'all was good with it. Y'all was good with it.
Oh no.
No, what I might do
hate-
is I'm gonna start with the small one. I'm gonna start with the small one. They'll be like, what's up? What's good, Pimpin'? How you doing?
Every year just get bigger and bigger.
And eventually I'm gonna get
damn.
one of them trucker ones, and I'm like, boom. Y'all was good, Pimpin'. We're good.
Oh my god.
Look, then I'm gonna go back to, you remember, I want to say it was like 2015, 2016, when everybody had those headphones that sat on your
Yeah,
neck and they were the Bluetooth ones.
yeah.
I'm gonna get me a pair of them. I'm gonna get me another pair of them. I'm gonna have them.
I
Boom.
had me a pair of
I
those.
did too. Oh
Nice.
man, what
That's
app
what's
was
up.
that? What app was that you could buy that they always sold stuff? It wasn't Timu. It was kind of
Wish.
like Timu. It was kind of like Timu, but what was it?
It wasn't Wish.
I think it was Wish. Yep. Cause I
Now
remember.
Wish was the worst. Wish
Oh,
was the worst in fucking Temu.
Wish is the worst. They still run. They still operate.
Oh no, they need to be shut down.
I'm like 95% positive they still operate. Hold on, I'm about to pull them up
They
right
need to
now.
shut down.
I'm about to pull them up
Wish
right
was
now.
so
Wish.
bad, but Wish was
Yeah,
click click.
yeah, they still operate. They still operate. I just pulled up the website and they just tried to offer me 15% off my first order.
Bro, that shit is a dollar. That shit is a penny. What do you? Wish was the cheapest thing you was ever gonna get. No matter what it was, it's cheap as hell on Wish.
I remember I bought 3 of those Bluetooth headphone things from Wish.
I bought like 2 rings from Wish.
I
I
did
went
too.
back and forth with them for weeks. Like, hey, I didn't get it. They're like, okay, we'll give you a refund, and if it comes in, just keep it. I bet.
I remember that happened to me. I bought and I'm so pissed off because I know who took it. I ordered a pin that you could remove the top part of it, and it was a knife.
Ooh,
I remember I had that bit. Ooh, I know who took it too. I know who took it, but it's fine because
but
I took his. It's fine because I took his battery pack
that's fair.
because he had one of them like nice fancy battery pack ones. I
Mm,
took that from him. So
that's fair.
exactly,
That's fair.
exactly.
Nice.
So you know it balances out. Alrighty. We are going to move on. We're going to move on to our next section of the episode, which is our anime discussion of the week. Now, we aren't going to be talking about a specific show. We're not going to be talking about a specific anime, but we are going to be talking about abilities. Mainly, if you had to choose one anime ability in any anime across all of the anime world, and you get to have it in this reality, and you're the only one who has it. Nobody else is gonna pop up with magical abilities or anime abilities ever. You're gonna be the only person. What ability are you choosing? I have 3 that I think I would choose right off the top of my head. The first one is spiritual pressure from Bleach. And the only reason I say that is because I know I would be an asshole with that ability. I'm just standing there. Like, imagine somebody just talking trash to me, and all of a sudden I just strike a pose, and they just drop to the floor.
Mm,
I just go, you know what, you're talking too much. Boom! And they just whoosh. And they're just like, what is this pressure weighing down on me? It's like trying to like get up, and they can't. And then while they're down, I kick them in the face.
that's not nice.
Who said I was gonna be nice? We have discussed this. We have been over this several times. If I had powers, I'm not being a good guy. Ever. If I had powers,
Valid.
I am not gonna be a good guy. In fact, I would actively advertise that I would be willing to do whatever you wanted me to do if you paid me enough. You wanted me to go take out somebody? You gonna pay my fee first. Hey, you want me to throw your enemy's car from here to the other side of the Great Wall of China? Cool. But
I got you.
you better pay me first.
That's fair. That's fair. That's
You
very
want me
fair.
to speed run your Nana from here to Antarctica? Because you said that she was a cold hearted bitch and would die alone? Alright. Pay me my $20,000.
Crazy.
So yeah, the first one is spiritual pressure. The second one would be instant transmission from Dragon Ball, because I just like the idea of being able to teleport. I think that is an underutilized ability in like fiction. Because imagine you have the ability to fight. Like you're already a good fighter and then you can teleport too. So now I'm just blinking in and out of reality, beating your ass. Bing, mink, mink, mink. Mink, mink. Mink, 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 mink. Mink, 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 mink. Teleport
That's
above them and just drop down on them, raining down punches like, Drop down on a nigga like Batman. Justice for Gotham.
Just every single angle hit him.
You want what he's having? Nah, man, I'm good. That's what I thought. Justice for Gotham. One of my favorite TikTok sounds. And I think for the last one, I think I would go with. It's a very specific. It is a very specific ability from my hero, and it's a quirk. But it's and I can't remember the character's name. He's the one that had the vocal manipulation. That if you respond to him, yes, thank you. I thought it was Shinzo. I couldn't. I wasn't.
Yeah,
Shinzo, because to get you to talk to me and then I can control you, dog. All I have to do is say, chicken butt. Say what? What? Ha! Gotcha, bitch. Just say something crazy and random. Now all of a sudden I have a bunch of puppets under my command. Yeah. See, the one thing that I don't think they ever explained is it only ever just one person, or if he can, or if can he control multiple people, if they all respond to him.
I feel like if he works on it and improves, he might be able to control more than one. But I think right now he can only control one person at a time.
Boo, boo! I say, and for them, I will also say though, the fandom made, I will admit this right now, the fandom made Shinzo out to be like he was supposed to be Aizawa's answer, like the Aizawa equivalent to what Deku was to All Might. And he just never was.
I wish he was.
And it really disappointed me because I was just like, bro, if y'all are going to make him supposed to be the All Might to Deku equivalent, because we already got Endeavor Todoroki, we got Best Jeanist Bakugo, and nobody's going to argue with me that didn't happen, because if you read the fucking manga, and you know what? Throw that out the window. Scratch that I ever said that. If you watch the fucking anime up to date, you would know that Best Jeanist had arguably one of the most impactful roles in Bakugo's character arc. As much as people want to say, oh, it was All Might after that thing happened where Bakugo and Deku got into that fight. No, it wasn't. It was Best Jeanist. Because later in the show, when things happen, you literally have a moment where Bakugo is looking at his phone and he is like, what is happening? That's not right. I need him to respond to me because he cared. As much as he hated that Best Jeanist put him in his place, he cared about Best Jeanist. Because you know something? Best Jeanist saw through that facade of his, and he saw that he underneath that crazy hard boy, bad boy persona was actually a guy that cared a lot. And it was a guy that needed somebody that would stand next to him and go, all right, you can be as mad and angry as you want, but you're still going to put your best foot forward when you become a hero. And it was a reason for that.
That's valid. I'm going to give you that.
And people say that Bakugo, and I'll admit this, at one point, before we got closer later into the show, I was one of those people that was like, you could never make me like Bakugo. You could never make me like Bakugo. And my thing is, I won't say that I like him, but I've definitely softened on my stance on him. Because of the fact that, like, the character has had a full arc, in my opinion. Same thing with Endeavor. I'll say this much though. I will 100% say this. I feel like Endeavor's character arc was a better start to finish than Bakugo's. I feel like that. Because, and this is going to be kind of heavy spoiler territory, with the story of Endeavor, Endeavor wanted to either, one, become the number one hero, or create a child that would become the number one hero. But what happened? He ended up becoming the number one hero. And what did he realize once he became the number one hero? That being the number one hero means nothing if you are still a terrible person. You can be the number one hero all you want, but he didn't have his wife. His kids hated him. He literally only had one child that was still willing to actually, like, tolerate him and greet him with open arms. He literally had a child that he thought was dead. He quite literally had a child that he thought was dead and that he had pushed him to his death.
Yeah.
And then, after all of that happened, his big secret gets revealed. The entirety of Hero Society is turning on him. He has to face his wife and his children. And he has to look them in the face and goes, I am so sorry. I know
Like,
you
I did
probably
that.
won't ever forgive me. But please understand that I am sorry. And if it takes the rest of my life to atone for my sins, I will take the rest of my life to do so. And I was like, that right there showed the character development that Bakugo should have gotten.
I mean, it's still he still has a chance.
They they got to do right. They got to do right. The final season, they got to do right just because if they do it the way that the manga ended, I feel like there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be pissed off. I feel like there are going to be a lot of people that are going to be pissed off. But
That's anime.
they do have a chance because even if and I'll say it like this, even if they do follow the manga, they can still end the anime in a way that won't make people feel like all of that was for nothing. Because that was one of the biggest complaints that I saw was like, so basically all of the story was for nothing. If this is how we're gonna end it, and in my mind I was like, no, this is the most like full circle, like how it ended is the reflection of how it started. Like, stop it, like you idiots, like stop, you're being dumb. But
Just want their picture perfect ending.
listen,
Anything else,
listen,
terrible.
the reading comprehension of people as a whole, that's why I've said this online multiple times, I refuse to argue with people that have the reading comprehension of a second grader.
Fair.
Like, you got the reading comprehension of a second grader, you're trying to talk to me about why the conversation that Bakugo has with Deku in the middle of the Great War wasn't one of the best emotionally thrilling moments of the entirety. You're gonna sit there and tell me that that didn't have the most like nuanced take on everything, on their entire relationship? Stop it. That's why I don't. That's why, and honest to God, that's why I don't talk about a lot of things with a lot of people because I'm like, you have the reading comprehension of a third grader. Shut up. Like, you're done. But I've yapped enough and a lot. Tell me what ability would you choose? I think have I given you enough time to decide?
Yes.
Because I know you were gonna be like so.
I've had enough time. I will say, I don't know what it's called. Whatever the ability that Psyche has, well, he has multiple, whichever one allows him to more or less manipulate reality.
That's reality manipulation. That's just reality.
I'll throw some at you.
I'm, s-
What
but to what extent?
do you mean to what extent? To the extent that Psyche uses it. Yes, he has multiple abilities. He can teleport, he can kind of telekinesis, but more so in the sense of he can change things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know
Like,
exactly what you mean. I'm trying to look up his abilities.
Uh,
Let's see. Come on. What's the point of having a fandom page if I can't? Let's see. Objects, people anywhere? No. An ability to duplicate himself? No. Astral projection? No. Build something from. Well, technically, the Appor ability, the power to pull something from somewhere else and have it appear before you. I mean, that's kind of reality bending.
could work too. That could work too.
yeah,
Jesus Christ, dude has all of these abilities.
Yeah, he does.
This dude has memory alteration abilities. I don't remember that.
That's funny.
They can repair things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jeez.
So reality manipulation.
Basically, just reality
Yeah.
manipulation. Which is fair. Let's see.
That's fair.
Oops. I almost feel bad. No, it's because I looked up something and I almost feel bad for looking that up, but at the same time I don't.
I know you don't.
Listen, I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'm one bad day from stripping.
It be like that.
I'm one bad day from stripping, man. There's a strip club up the road. I ask them if they have a ladies' night. I'll turn it up. I'll get some. I'll get some Vaseline because I refuse to use baby oil. Get use some of that. What the right here? Use some of the Jergens natural glow. Get the sparkly sheen on me.
Get you some body shimmer. You be like,
Exactly. Put the body shimmer on. Get me one of them. Get me one of them Magic Mike G strings. Get the jeans. Get the jeans that come right to the top of the thigh.
oh my god, not those. The lowriders.
Yes, get the lowrider jeans that they used to wear in like the 2000s, the early 2000s. That would be great. All right, studio audience, tell the people what ability.
Three.
Oh,
What?
you got three. What is?
The quirk of Star and Stripes.
No.
Second one, I forgot the name of the stand, but this is the stand of the villain in the arc of Giorno in JoJo. Is Crimson something?
Oh, I think it was the fire one.
It's not fire. He can stop time.
Oh,
Mm.
Yeah, it
ain't
looks like
that
he's
Dio's? Ain't that Dio's stand?
no, Gio's it's his stand is somewhat similar to the power of Jonathan. Because he can create life.
Hmm.
So like if he could like let's say if he saw a blanket, he could touch that blanket and turn it into a turtle.
That's wild.
My third one would be the ability of the protagonist from Solo Level.
Mm.
Basically, to have a heads-up display.
I mean, you can continuously
Just power up.
power up.
That's fair.
I guess.
That's
I
fair.
guess. Also, you wait. How you're caught up on My Hero, right?
Yeah.
No, we're not. For a few episodes.
Oh, 2 episodes behind. Whatever.
Well, you're caught up enough to where you know about Star and Stripe, so.
Yeah.
So see, the problem with Star and Stripe is you have to consider rules that would be made that could actually happen in like reality. Like you can't just be like you have to like, and that's another thing. I don't want an ability where I have to think in order to use my ability and be able to like make my ability happen. I want to be able to just be like, oh, I got to use my ability. Boop. All right, cool. Like, that's why I said instant transmission. All I have to do is think about where I want to go, and I can just, boop, gone.
But isn't instant transmission based on places you've been to already?
No, not really.
Not necessarily.
Because at some point, because he does use it in order to, like, so there are different, we've seen it in different forms. Basically, he can use it anywhere, but in order to get a more accurate like honage of where he wants to go, he just basically finds people. So he can literally sense their energy and be like, I sense his energy. Oh, there he is. Boop. Or if he goes, you know what? Italy sounds nice right now. Boop. There you go.
Okay. Why not?
Instant transmission is not required to be somewhere he's ever been before. Because to my knowledge, in fact, I know it's not. Because he had never been to New Namek. But he managed to find their energy and then teleport to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there have been multiple times where he's instant transmissioned out to his training field before he started training with the God of Destruction.
Have you seen Dynamite yet?
No, I'm waiting for. I wanna wait for a couple more episodes to drop because I know I'll be able to watch all of it at once.
I feel that.
So that's what I'm waiting on. But we're gonna move on. We are because we're gonna try to get this episode to be as quick and as long and short as we can in one sitting.
As long as it's
But with that, we are at the penultimate section of the episode. I'm now 3 episodes deep that I've been able to do that right. And it is entitled Shit for a Shot. And today's Shit for a Shot, we have our Florida shot glass. It's not a shot glass, it's a shooter.
Woo.
And we have gin vodka mixed together in that lovely glass right there because I have alcohol and I'm just going to drink it as I see fit. But today's Shit for a Shot is going to be a rather serious one in a rather unserious episode. I saw recently on the Tickle Tackle of a white woman, and that is important to the story, who was in, I want to say, Arizona. And in Arizona, she just so happened, because her thing on TikTok is that, like, she lives in a tent, and she's been living in a tent for, like, 13 months now or whatever. But she was out in Arizona, and there was a Native American settlement. She was, like, near a Native American settlement in Arizona. And she saw a bunch of, like, kids or people out in the field playing. And so she takes a video of them. And it's like, who are these people? Like, who just dropped these people in the desert? Mind you, where they're at is hundreds of miles away from the border. So, gets the video, posted up online. People immediately start jumping on her. Because, of course, even though she didn't directly say that they were, illegal immigrants and blah, 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 blah. It was very heavily implied that that's what she assumed.
Mm-hmm.
So after she gets called out, literally different content creators call her out, and she tries to make a non-apology video where basically she tries to explain why she did the way she did. Basically trying to say, like, well, I was just out there and I just randomly happened to see these people. I didn't realize at the time that it was a Native American settlement, and I have a Latino husband and I have kids that are not like me, that don't look anything like me, and my husband was the one that suggested that I call the police, and I was just trying to make sure that they were like, they weren't being trafficked, because how do you know they weren't being trafficked? And we've had a problem where people have been crossing the border and blah 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 blah, basically trying to justify the fact that she saw brown people out in public in just a random space in public, not random, but random to her, and then she immediately just called the police and assumed that they were doing something wrong or that they were there illegally. So people got on her ass about that. And my shit for a shot today is, if you were going to do something like that, if you're going to be racist and you were going to fuck around and find out, do it and stand on that shit. Because the simple fact of the matter is, in fact, I'm going to circle this into something else, because it's also similar to these people that get so pissy about live action stuff and they change the character, or like the character is like a different race in the live action versus like an animated show or like in the comics or whatever. And it's like, well, they're not the right race. They're not this. They're not that. Just say you don't like black people. Just say you don't like people of color. Like if you're gonna give us these microaggressions, at least say it. Because at least you at least
Say it with your chest.
exactly, at least we would give you the credit of being like, well, at least you owned up to the fact that that's why you don't like it. Or in the case of that woman, at least own up to the fact that you saw some brown people out in a field and you automatically assumed they were there illegally. At least own up to that. At least own up to your
Acknowledge your mistake.
exactly own up to it. Because my thing is, I get so tired as someone who enjoys multiple forms of media. I get so tired whenever I get on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook. I get so tired when I get on there and I see somebody bitching and moaning about, oh, well, this character in the show, they're this, or in the animated series, they're this. Why do we have to swap the race and blah 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 blah? Just say you don't want people of color being these characters. Just say that. Just literally, like, just say you don't like black people. Just say you don't like brown people. Just say it. Because at this point, we've heard it. We've heard it all before. We have. At this point, because it's just like, y'all ain't gonna say it to our faces. Exactly. One, you're not gonna say it to any of the people's faces. Two, you're probably still gonna watch whatever it is that you're complaining about. Three, they don't care. They're still gonna make it. They're still gonna do it. They're still gonna get paid.
Yeah.
So it's like you're getting all bent out of shape about it when it's like, enjoy it. Don't enjoy it. Fucking okay. Like,
everything doesn't call for your opinion.
Exactly. Truthfully, if they decided they wanted to do Static Shock, and let's say they made Static Shock, let's say they did Tom Holland as Static Shock, I would be like, that's a weird choice. I feel like they're doing that to cause controversy. But you know something? I'm still gonna sit down and watch it because I'm gonna be like, I want to see how this. I actually want to see how it's gonna relate. I want to see how it's gonna show up on screen.
Yeah.
Like I really would, just because it's just like, that's kind of interesting. It's goofy, it's stupid. I don't know why they did it, but I still would like. I'd still watch it because I'm weird like that. I'm like, I want to see it. So it's
dumb.
It's weird, and it always kills me whenever these people who microaggression their way through a racist rant, and then they get called out, or people call out their jobs, and people get them like suspended or fired or whatever. Then they try to come back and play the victim, and it's like, no. We know what you said. We heard what you said. Stand on it because you said it. You fucked around and you're finding out, so stand on that shit. That's my shit for a shot rant. If you're gonna fuck around and be racist and microaggressively racist, stand on it when you get called out. Say, you know what? I did do that. That was wrong of me. I see how I was wrong. Do I apologize? In some cases they do. Sometimes they don't.
Right.
But for the ones that do, right. But for the ones that do, I apologize. I'm gonna figure out how I can be better, and I'm gonna learn from this experience, and I'm gonna move on. Boom, just like that. It'd be just as simple as that. But now we gotta have people on TikTok getting their name and address and everything else pulled up because they want to be racist, and people find their job. I ain't gonna lie though. Sometimes when people find those jobs like that, I be like, damn, y'all did that shit.
Y'all ain't that. Yeah, I kind of did that.
There have been times where I've seen the aftermath of people being racist, and it's like, damn, I didn't even get to see it happen in real time. Shit, now I gotta go back and figure out how we got here.
Homeless and everything. I'm like, what happened?
Right. It was like, now I gotta figure out how we got here. Shit, hold on, let me click through 7 videos real quick.
Go back a couple chapters. What happened?
But that's my shit for a shot, man. That just, it gets tiring, is what I'll say. It gets tiring because I know, as someone who was ostracized growing up for being the weird child, seeing it now that I'm older and grown and still being ostracized for enjoying things, it just, like, can't we just enjoy things and not have to deal with all of this crap? You know,
No, because people are mean and think their opinion needs to be said, even though it's a bad opinion half the time.
you know who, you know what, you know the types of people I blame.
Mm,
The ones that like growing up, they used to be like, "I'm not racist. I hate everyone equally." Those people, those are the ones that I blame for this.
those are the ones who need to get punched in the mouth.
You right. Also,
Expeditiously.
if you, I'm saying this, I don't know who all watches or listens to my podcast. To those of you that knew me before I graduated high school, understand that y'all really need to thank whatever God you serve. That I really, really did not crash out as much as I absolutely should have. Because looking back, I can count on both hands, both feet, both of my wife's hands and feet, the amount of times I should have crashed out on a lot of people. Like, truthfully, I look back now and I say, you know what? It helped me develop into the man I am today, so I can't be too bad. But at the same time, I look back and I'm like, I really should have punched some of these folks in the mouth.
All right,
At
somebody
least,
really should have got
like,
smacked in the back of the throat.
at least once. Just once. And I was never
Yeah.
a violent person growing up. I'll even admit that. Cause my parents was like, you don't do that. Don't do that. You know, my parents taught me with the you don't do that types of value. But, looking
Oh,
back,
that's
I'm
not
like,
my parents taught me something different.
no,
But go on.
looking back, you might have to
Mine just told me don't hit first.
facts.
Don't throw the first punch. That's all they told me. Don't throw the first punch, and we won't be
Listen,
mad.
no, look, that was my cousins. That was my cousins that said that. That was my parents. They was like, look,
Mm,
just don't be the one to throw the first punch.
exactly.
All,
That's how you get
all,
in trouble.
all I'm saying is, if we one day figure out time travel, I'm going back and I'm about to be a crash out. I am about to be a 5-star level crash out.
I don't blame you
All
at
through,
all.
and I don't even know if I would even go all the way back to high school. I'd probably go back just to college and be a 5-star level. I would be the most educated 5-star crash out.
I'm going straight to middle school. That's it. That's all I need is middle school. All I need is middle school. I go back as my 27-year-old self. I will go back
That's crazy.
and fight middle
Nah.
schoolers.
If
Yeah,
I had the ability of time travel, I would want to be able to go back to whatever time and be and habitate that body just with the knowledge that I have now. Just so that way I could relive some situation. Cause like, man, I should have threw that one dude into the ferret tank. Just right into the ferret tank. Bow.
somebody should have got. I'm not gonna say that. It's coming out.
Yeah, you don't need to whatever you about to say. You might not want to say it.
All right, that was I saw. Hold on, let me not say that
But
in front of.
yeah, man, that's my shit for a shot. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. That was the shit. This is the shot. I'm gonna take this shot. Cause that was some shit. Oh,
Nice.
oh Jesus! Give me a second. No. Whew. Nah, cause
Really, the shot didn't like that shit.
look, it went down kind of awkward. That's why. It
Ugh.
went. You know how like when you take a drink and it kind of like you feel it, and as it's like going down, you feel it. And it's like, ugh.
Ugh.
I'm gonna chase it with the screwdriver.
Go off. Go all the way off.
But with that being said, we are going to move into our last section of today's episode, entitled "Am I the Asshole?" as read by Kristal.
I had this before I even looked at what you had for your shit for a shot, but it's crazy enough along the same lines.
Hey! Love when the universe lines up that way.
Oh my god, where'd it go? I had it.
Hit me with your best shot. Why don't you hit me with your best shot?
All right. Am I the asshole for bringing a dish from my culture to my in laws' family reunion?
I'ma say no. Barring we get more information, I'm gonna say no. Because
Mm,
it shows that you were trying to be inclusive and you were also
yeah.
trying to get your in laws to learn more about your culture. So hit me with it.
All right, here we go. I am 28F and Chinese American. My husband and my in laws are all white. On Saturday, they had a family reunion, and because my husband wanted me to go so bad, I brought a traditional Chinese dish called Xiaolong Bao. Xiaolong Bao, I think that's how you say it. My mother in law gave a bad look when I placed the plate down at the table. She comes up to me and asks, "What have you got there?" I tell her what it is, and she told me that Eastern food doesn't belong in her home. I was forced to throw it out, and my heart was broken. I walked out and sat in the car for an hour waiting for my husband to come out. On the car ride home, it was mostly silent until he broke it with, "Yeah, sorry about that. My mom really doesn't like any culture outside of my family's." My in laws have never been directly racist to me before. This is the second gathering with them I have been to, and also the third seeing my mother in law. My family isn't happy at this, and my sister suggested that I divorce my husband and marry within our culture. My mom was never happy with me marrying him in the first place, and I didn't have a wedding because of it. My husband has a neutral opinion on the situation and acts like it isn't much of a big deal. He said that his family didn't seem to care about our relationship at all, but I am starting to think he may have lied to me about that.
Oh yeah, see, immediate. Not the asshole, divorce the husband, punch the mom in law in the face. Cause see, I wasn't even gonna side with the sister about divorcing the husband until you read that he was trying not to make it a big deal. And see, that right there tells me he does not respect her and that he's trying to stick up for his family. Divorce. Imminent. Please tell me there's an update.
Mm, I mean, it was only put out 6 days ago. As of right now, there is
No!
no update. What
Boo!
I looked up what Xiaolong Bao is. It's literally just soup dumplings.
Exactly!
It's just soup dumplings.
Exactly!
Eat them. Like, eat it and be grateful.
Bro, if somebody came to my house and brought me some Xiaolong Bao, I would be so bro. You know how
You
happy
sure
I
did.
would be.
I love a
Bro,
good dumpling.
man,
Bro,
I'm sitting at my table. I'm
especially
finna
with this white food at the table, I'm eating just the dumpling.
like. Do you understand? Cause okay, so I have to. I'll be honest right here. My wife is black and Filipino, Filipino and black. You know, Filipino mama,
Yeah.
black daddy. You know this.
Yeah.
You've met mama and daddy. You know,
Multiple times.
and you know that one of the traditional dishes is lumpia,
Love,
and I
love it
love it to
so
death
much.
with everything in my heart.
I
If
still am owed Lumpia.
you're never gonna get it, period.
Yes, I
No,
am.
you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Anyway, you will never get it ever, because every time she makes some, I immediately am taking all of it. Now, with that being said, if my wife ever went through the process of making lumpia for us to take home, and anybody in my family had any kind of negativity to say, like, "Ooh, what kind of food?" Either you try it and you shut up, or you shut up and you shut up. Like, because you're
Like
not
I
because what you're not about to do, that is the quickest way to get cussed out.
literally
Like, don't you
like I
disrespect my wife. I've almost gotten into a fist fight with one of my cousins because he thought he was being slick and trying to talk slick out the side of his neck. And I was like, I will jump across this table on you right now. Do not test me. I will fight. Like, and I had to admit it. I was like, the only reason I won't fight you is because I'm in my parents' house and I'm trying to be respectful. I will throw you through their front glass. Do not play with me.
that's fair.
Like
But
that.
yeah, I've brought lumpia home to my family to try one time. They was like, "What is it?" I was like, "Oh, it's lumpia. It's a Filipino dish." And they was like, "Oh, okay. That's different. We'll try it." But they were like, in the end, they're like, "You know what? We didn't really like." I said, "That's fair. More for me. Thank you for trying it, though. You
And
know, just
I
trying
would
it. It's not gonna kill you."
exactly. I've even explained to my mom what lumpia is because I had to try to explain it to her, and I was like, the best way. And I know it's not as comparable, but when you see it, you'll think this. Think like an
Right.
egg roll.
Literally, like egg roll.
And I was like, that's kind of not to say that that is what it is, but that is like the most comparable way I could tell you what
That's
lumpia
the
is.
closest comparison you can make to it.
Exactly. And she was like, "Oh, okay." So I said, and I told her, I said, "So when we get some and we make some and we bring some, y'all are gonna try it. In fact, y'all are gonna try it and y'all are gonna like it. You want to know how I know that? Because when I tried it and I liked it. In fact, I loved it. In fact, I don't let anybody have none whenever she makes some. I get the
Selfish.
majority. We went
So
to a
selfish.
Halloween party a couple years ago. I made, you know how mad I was that I had to purposefully make sure I didn't eat more than people could have. You know how mad I was that night? Because I was just like, I want these lumpias. I'm dating her. She's going to be my wife one day. Why can't I have the most of these?
Like,
Y'all
it's
out
mine.
here. What?
Like it's mine. It's all my lumpia.
Exactly. It's all my lumpia because she's my girlfriend at the time.
Like
It's all
fair.
mine. All of this is mine. In fact, all of this should be mine because I'm the one that shredded the carrots and shredded the cabbage so that way y'all can have it.
I still think I am owed some.
You are owed a big old plate of nothing.
Can I at least have some rice porridge with
Maybe.
spam?
Maybe.
So, I'm not gonna ask you. I don't even know why I asked you.
You know what's funny? You know what's
I'll go
funny?
to the
And
store.
this is the biggest cyber middle finger I could give you. She's talking about making lumpia when we go for Thanksgiving.
Y'all act like I won't drive there.
You're not coming here because we're not even
Why
gonna
I
be
won't?
here.
I'll find where y'all gonna be.
You're not driving to South Carolina.
Why I won't?
You're not. Going back to our conversation, no, she is not the asshole. Truthfully, I hope she does divorce him because he does not sound like he respects her and wants to have her best interest at heart. And I hope she's not pregnant because I would hate for her to have a child with him. Because how can you not be, first off, how can you not stand up for your wife? Because
Right.
the moment that that happened, and she was like, Eastern food has no has no place in my home. Well, then neither do we. Goodbye.
It's the fact of her sitting in the car for an hour waiting for him to come out. I'd have left him there.
To be honest, at that point, that's a divorce.
And then it was like she threw it away. No, I'm taking it home. I'm gonna eat. It's my dinner now.
Right. Like
Take it on the man.
that is the divorce, and you're getting left at your parents' house.
Right. Now you gotta find your own way home that you're
Literally,
gonna get locked out of.
you're exactly. You're gonna walk. By the time you get here, I'll have the locks replaced.
Yeah,
Like, because that's what you're not gonna do. Is that shit right there.
absolutely not. Mm-mm.
But
But all the comments agree
that she's
that
not the
she's not the
asshole.
asshole and the mother-in-law is racist.
Absolutely, 100%. See, I love when we can all agree on things.
Hmm.
But with that being said, are all hearts and minds clear? Are all hearts and minds clear? Yes, no, maybe so.
Oh,
You good over there?
I just look over and when why are you posting like that? He's over there posting. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm gonna stop looking over there because why? I'm not looking at you no more. I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna finish this drink and we're gonna end this.
I still got like a quarter of this cup left.
Damn, better chug it.
That's what I'm about to do. I'm gonna wait for you, so that way I can have somebody egging me on, talking about chug, 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 chug.
Don't worry, I got you.
Ready?
I'm ready. Yep. Chug, 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 chug. Take it ahead. Yeah.
Ah, ha, ha.
Nice.
Ah. that kind of hurt.
No.
I caught an air bubble. No, because I caught an air bubble between swallows. Ah!
Yeah, that hurt. But nah, no.
Damn. All right, but we are going to wrap up now. Now that all of our hearts, minds, and cups are empty,
Surely are.
we are going to end it. If you guys have enjoyed today's episode, why don't you go ahead and do us a favor, like the video or like the stream, the audio on Spotify. Does Spotify have a like feature? I think you can like the podcast as a whole. I don't know if you can like the episode.
You can.
Oh, well then please like the episode on Spotify if you're listening on Spotify. Follow us on all the major social media platforms at Drunk Text Pod. Just going to let you guys know we are probably going to be moving away from Twitter in favor of Blue Sky soon. That's not a for sure thing yet, but there are discussions. There are discussions being had about that. But with that being said, you can find me everywhere, all the social medias at YoungJB or at _YoungJB. So that's at _YUNGJAYBEE. Miss Kristal, please tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me everywhere at Kristal Jane, KRISTALDESHANE.
Absolutely lovely stuff. Ooh, excuse me. That's how you know. That's how you know that the soda in your drink, because I added some Sprite in there. Oh, that's how you know it's coming back with a vengeance, and you start burping. Aye. But with that being said, laddie-daddy-dads and gents, next week is episode 30. We have made it to 30 episodes as of next week. I love that so much. But with that being said, we will see you all. Dirty 30. I just started having some ideas about what we could do for the Dirty 30. But with that being said, we will see you all next week for the episode that will probably be called the Dirty 30. We will see you on the next one. Please remember that you are loved. You are appreciated. And we're so happy that you joined us on these interwebs. We will see you all next week. Bye-bye.
If you or a loved one is struggling with alcohol abuse, dial the National Drug and Alcohol Treatment Hotline at 1-800-662-4357. The National Drug and Alcohol Treatment Hotline provides information on alcohol and drug abuse, local treatment options, and support through hotline counselors who are there to help and speak with you about alcohol, drug, or family problems.